Welcome to the Hello Mr. President segment. This is where we put the spotlight on you, our viewers, to let us know what is happening in your communities, various challenges that you are going through. All you need to do is to record a 60-second video of yourself telling the president the problem or the problems you face, you're living with here in your communities here in Ghana, or address the president in a write-up of no more than 250 words. You can send it to our email, helloMrPresidentTV@gmail.com. Better still, send to our WhatsApp line 0550-585832. Now, in this episode of Hello Mr. President, we have a video all the way from Adidome in the Volta region that is telling us about a situation or a challenge with an abandoned ICT lab. And so we'll go over to take a look at the video and what the situation is as of now.
Hello, Mr. President. My name is Harry Graff. Now, currently I'm at Adidome, Central Zone in the Volta region. There is this ICT lab which has been left abandoned for the past 7 years. It was commissioned in 2002 by MTN. This ICT lab serves both the community and then the senior high school, which is Adidome Senior High School. Now, interestingly, it has been left into the bush. If you see it in the map, there is no laptop, no computer, nothing. Meanwhile, the senior high school lacks computer facilities. The junior high school and the primary schools in the community lacks these facilities, but they are not taking care of these facilities. Who is supposed to do it? Is it the MC, the DC, or the chiefs? My brother Marvelous Agbanyo will take us through.
Right, so you saw there an abandoned ICT lab that is being spoken about by Harry, who is a concerned citizen from Adidome, and Harry joins us on the line. Hi, Harry, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. Throw more light on the problem with the ICT lab for us.
All right. First of all, good morning to your cherished viewers, and greetings to all Abisusa members. And my brother Hambala, who just passed out, he has been championing this cause before he died a few days ago. He normally organized boys to meet around the ICT lab to ensure that the day is clean, but he just died. The lab has been there since 2012, and when they were commissioning it, I was there in person. And I would say that was where I gave my first speech as well. But since its commission, it has been left abandoned. For the past 7 years, it has been there without it being operated. Meanwhile, students go there when it was commissioned to do their research works, people stay there, because even the ICT lab in the senior high school is not having computers. Only few computers were there. But the lab was giving us a second option so that we can come and do research. Sometimes we organize classes to go and teach students in that lab, which we pay. But nothing has been done about it since 2015. It has been left in the bush. And this lab was given to us by the MTN Communication. They gave us the lab. So they left it in the care of the leaders in the town. But I don't know, right now when you go there, there is no computer, there is no Wi-Fi, there is nobody. It's like a zoo. It's very heartbreaking because we lack these facilities in the town. The junior high schools, the primary schools, and even the main senior high school in the town is facilities. But look at how it is now. We don't know who to hold accountable or responsible, whether the chief or the DC. It is a big concern to the citizens in the town.
Right, Harry. At what point was the facility abandoned? How long was it being in use for?
I would say it's not more than, it was used from 2012 to 2016. Sorry, 2015 rather. So
okay.
From 2016 upwards, it has been there like that.
What happened? Why? Why is it so?
Well, we don't know whether it's the opinion leaders or is the guy who was in charge. Apparently, we're blaming the guy who was in charge of the facility, who you call him Moreno. But he always shifted the blame to the chiefs that they are supposed to take care of the place. And we don't know who is to be held responsible for this because he is there. Whether he's being paid or not, he didn't inform us that he's not being paid. And then I'm not coming there to check on the facility they gave us.
Right. So where are the equipment? Where are the chairs, the computers? What happened to them?
Well, the computers were in the room for the past 5 years. But when I went there last week, I realized that there are no computers in the office. Only the chairs were there. The computers are no more there. The door is locked. You can only see lizards, cuckoos, and other stuff. You can see the video. The place is very bushy. Meanwhile, this place is situated in the middle of the town. It's not even that it's far from the town. This is the middle of the town.
So who has the keys? Do you have an idea?
I don't know who has the keys because even the guy who is in charge, we don't know where he is right now. We'll be looking for him to know who is having the key the office so that we can, at least the youth can come up with something. If we have to renovate the place and get computers in it, but we don't know who is having the keys as at now.
Right. So who employed that guy? Is it MTN? Is it the community? Is it the education directorate? Who employed him?
Well, for that, I have no idea who really, whether it's MTN or the chief. What he told us was that when he receives any money from what he takes from the constituents, I mean the students or the researchers, when he organizes classes, he pays. So when he takes that money, he accounts to the chief. That is what he told us.
He accounts to the chief?
Yes, to the chief.
Okay.
So we don't know whether it's the chief that employed him or it's the GP or the education office or the MTN company.
Right. Now, have you been able, or have some of you community members been able to, for instance, talk to the assembly? This is some private company donating an ICT lab to the community. But have you found out from the assembly whether there's some kind of partnership, whether they are taking over, and what they intend to do with the lab?
Well, you know, there has been change of government since then. And then the DC, I say the assembly members that come, we don't normally, some of us don't normally meet them one-on-one because we don't get it, we don't see them around. But what I can say is because these guys spoke of the chief the other time, Alan Joynis was in town, but the man was not feeling well to speak, so they couldn't get in touch with him. So we don't know whether the assembly is even trying to do anything, but even if they want to do something, I think they should have done it a long time because it has been there for the past 9 years. And it's not now that we should be chasing them because they have been using these things for their campaign. That they want, they will do this, they will do this. But now this facility is there. You need us to come and talk to you or tell you that, oh, please, come and do our lab for us. The thing is there already. Why don't you just go and then fix it for us? So we've not gotten the chance to speak with any of the assembly members for the DC because some are not even available.
But have you been also reached out to MTN?
We don't have anybody from MTN that we have been coming to check on the facility since this commission. Because when it was commissioned, like I said, that was where I gave my first speech. I was the student of Adidome Senior High School then, so I was invited then. So since then, we don't know how MTN handed over the facility to the chief. And no, none of the staff has been coming around to check on the facility. So we don't even know which of the MTN staff that we can even report the issue to. Only the guy in Saudi Combo, he's the one we have been always getting in touch with. That too, Charlie, the lab. And for some time now, we don't see him in touch with him. Because he thought he's been harassed, he's been accused of what he cannot handle.
All right, thank you very much, Harry. Thank you.
Welcome.
Right, so that is a concerned resident, Harry, from Adidome in the Volta region, who is very, very worried about an abandoned ICT lab in his community. Now, he tells us that this was donated to the community by MTN, and for the past 9 years, this lab has been abandoned. Nothing seems to be happening. They can't even find the person who has the key to the facility. Nothing seems to be happening. You saw in there on your screens that now the whole lab has turned into a forest. Is in the middle. It's been buried in weeds, in some growths, and this is what they have to deal with. Unfortunately, there is no lab center for students in the area. This was done for them, and this is the current nature of the ICT lab that was donated to them by a private company. Nothing seems to be happening here. The computers are all gone. It doesn't look like something that has been used in years. He is very worried about it, and So are all of us as well. Now, we've also been joined by the DCE of Central Tong, that is where Adidome in the Volta region is, and Thomas Moore is the DCE of the area. Thank you very much for joining us, DCE. Welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you. Good morning.
Right. So tell us, what do you know about the ICT lab, that was donated to the Adidome community by MTN?
I met a structure in Adidome, and the description on it is an ICT center donated by MTN to Adidome community. The place was very bushy and wasn't functioning. It was something I inherited, so I tried doing some form of investment as to how we can get into personalized. We tried renovating the place immediately. We awarded it on contract. Unfortunately, a chief of the community, the late Toby Passenger Ajimat, said, came to me with some documents that the facility was a donation to him by MTN. He agreed for us to do the renovation, but we hand it over to him to manage as his personal property, which we didn't agree because we were spending government's money on the renovation. So we didn't accept that proposal from him. I again contacted MTN to clarify his position then. And they told me a different story. That they contacted him to put up the facility in the community for the use of the community, that wasn't a gift to him. This issue took us over a year when we were not able to resolve it. I am happy and to say, unfortunately, the man, the chief of me, Ajima, has passed on, and I contacted his two father and his son to revisit our decision to renovate the building. And I can tell you, the son, who is now the new chief, has accepted our offer and given us the green light to go ahead and renovate the place for the youth of Adidome.
Right. Mr. Moore,
yes.
When was this conversation had?
We did it. We had a discussion 2 weeks ago in that office. I can't tell you the exact part, but I can remember it was 2 weeks ago when they came to announce the death of their father, the late used to me.
Right. So now, what is going to happen? What measures have you put in place for the past 2 weeks? What have you done to make sure that we salvage this situation?
I called back the contractor and also the engineers on the project to submit a bill of quantity of the project to my study. We discussed with the contractor, things have changed. Though the quantities may remain the same, the rates may change. And even have to pick some items are stolen from the facility. So there's a need to do some review on the original contract or bill of quantity. So I again gave them 2 weeks to submit the report on that, on which the contractor is already holding an award letter. We will go back to a site on a revised contract. That is what we are looking at within the shortest time possible.
Right, so when was the last time you visited the facility?
I was there the very day we met with the contractor. We all visited the place.
And that was a week ago? That was yesterday?
That was a week ago, more than a week, I suppose.
Right, so per what the contractor has told you and your own assessment of the situation, how long will it take to put the facility back on track? Timelines?
Equal the contract period statement. That's why we have a record. What procedure is going to take some few weeks again. So let's give ourselves give a take 10 minutes to have that place completed and handed over to the user client.
Right, thank you very much, Mr. DCE. That is Mr. Thomas Moore, DCE for Central Tongue. Now, he is giving us some assurance that the abandoned ICT lab donated to the Adidome community by MTN will be receiving a facelift. There will be some renovation works on the facility and it will be put in good use. We will follow up. He's giving us the timelines. We will follow up and see what work, will be done and within what period of time, because this cannot just go to waste, and that is how the private sector can contribute in nation building. But if they put in their resources, if they try to solve problems, what do we do with them? What would the community be doing with that? How would government also support them in making sure that we all promote and build the Ghana that we are talking about? This is Hello Mr. President segment on Breakfast Daily. Don't forget that you can also send in your concerns, the challenges you are facing in your community, by recording a 60-second video of yourself telling us what the problem or the problems are. You can also address the president in a write-up of no more than 250 words to our email, hellomrpresidenttv@gmail.com, or send to our WhatsApp line 0550 585832.